Howdy, y'all. It's evening where I'm at. Nice fall day, warm and cozy in the afternoon, and a little chilly in the evening. And still getting used to the space. It's pretty cool. I love where I'm at. I'm very thankful for many things, and there's many things I have to attend to. That's life, right? It's fun. So there's a lot going on. It's the ever-changing wheel of time. Today I want to talk about Jesus Christ. And I'm very thankful that I came to the Bible for a variety of reasons, many of which being that it's the central book in the area I live, grew up in, and as far as I know, in much of the world, regarding morality and life and understanding the spiritual path to heaven. And I think that there's many people I think can agree with me, many misinterpretations of Jesus Christ that are serious pitfalls for people. So one I can think of straight away is you're not supposed to depict Jesus Christ. I think of Jesus as like a light green, like aurora borealis type light in the sky that is bringing beneficent times and magic into the world, as he did on his travels, and in his foresight, never being concerned whatsoever about what was to eventually come after all of his great deeds and great wondrous healings of people across the realm, was that he never could die. It's God in the flesh. And there's this the Christian idea that there is a threefold nature to God. It's a brilliant idea. Can I say with any veracity that it's true, that I feel it, I feel like it's true. It makes sense. There's this idea of a kind spiritual angel within that can guide you in a positive direction all along, and is present with you through your life. That's the Holy Ghost. And there's Jesus, or if you're living in good faith, you and God above and all around us. And there's this connection to earth that we have by putting our feet in the soil and breathing in the air and hearing the birds chirp and seeing people smile, And when I think about Jesus, I think of someone who never harmed a soul, was never warring, never showed off his carpentry skills. As far as I know, I've always been interested in that part. I've always hearing that growing up, like, oh, Jesus was a carpenter. I was like, what did he build? Like, what? I want to see this stuff, and then there's nothing. And as far as there's got to be tons of things. If he indeed is real, which I believe him to be. And it's just like there's no, as far as I can tell, maybe there's other texts that convey convey these details, but in the Bible, and then I read the Essene Gospels beyond, in the Septuagint still now. I've been reading other things. He's depicted. He's never, his works, his artisanship is not gone into in depth. And what the Essene Gospel is interesting about is because it goes so much into the diet. It goes so much into how to live and how cooked foods are bad. How Jesus said that any flesh on your tongue is like blood poisoning you. And I went onto that video. I made that video. And I felt like that was a really good additional document to the Bible to really understand the depth of the spiritual I think there's many problems with the Bible, and I'll get into that in future videos. I have already. I've got lots of problems with it, Exodus and so forth. Um, Paul, of course. But thinking about Jesus, it makes me smile because I don't have those feelings. I feel confident in this person who existed that brought such a peace and joy to those who he touched. And it's because it's God. It's an example. It's what we can look to guide us. And I think the best way that I can heal people is to do what I came here to do, where I'm living out here in the Ozarks, which is to grow food for people. I feel like I want to make art. I want to do all sorts of stuff. But at center, what is most important is growing food for people and healing people, because I know deep down that God has given us these amazing fruits. And if we take in these fruit diets, if you look at any other mammal, every other creature, monomeals. Sure, yes, you have raccoons that dig into garbage bins and so forth, but out in nature, out in the forest and so forth, all the animals that survive, they eat monomeals. They do not mix foods. And they're usually eating God's fruits straight off the ground, nuts, fruit, so forth. And our perfect food is fruit. And the Essene Gospel essentially conveys this, but it's gone into deeper and many tomes. There's many tomes on fruitarianism. I feel deeply about that, in that Jesus Christ has guided me into that direction. Because, like I said before, the essence being nonviolence, the essence being a true judgment of character, and the word being more powerful than what you put in your mouth. That's not the exact verbatim quote from the Bible. I'm blanking on it right now, but yes, the word is technically it's technically more important than the food that you eat. But the food that you eat is critical. It is of critical importance because it becomes everything. If you're eating life-enriching fruit straight off the vine versus some animal that's been butchered and processed for days and may have had rot in it. Many people believe that you get parasites by eating any animals because we're not supposed to eat them. Look at your teeth, look at your anatomy, and I feel like I could just been yelling this from the rooftops because it's just screaming at me every day. But I can't I can't fathom why people go in that direction, and I want to push people, not push people. Uh, ex- I want to relay what I've learned about living on fruit and how it makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. It's clean, beautiful energy. But anyways, in this image that I have, it's the sepulcher, right? Jesus' sepulcher. He came out of after 3 days of supposedly being dead and buried. And I think this is what should be represented in every church, if you're going to have a church. Instead of the cross, instead of him at the back of the church, dead. That's so gruesome. That's what people have wrong about Christianity. You feeling the need to invoke his death and bring in the cross everywhere you go. It just makes it this freakish realm. I hate it. I hate crosses. I never felt great about them, but I really have cemented that feeling that I don't like them. Because and it tells you in the Bible to not wear that kind of stuff. And in some people's understandings of the word and so forth, the biblical readings, we're not supposed to have any statues whatsoever. So it's really pretty interesting. And emulations, no emulations. I mean, that goes into acting. It makes sense too. It's like kind of like it's strange to act. It's strange to put on voices on a regular basis. Maybe, yeah. It's weird. It is weird when you really think about it. um, sorry, this is becoming a bit of a ramble, but I knew it would. I'm just so happy. I'm so happy with the things that I've been given in my life and the mystery of life. There's so many random things. Like when we first got here, we had to clean out the septic tank within a month and a half, and the people that were here before, they left quite a bit of stuff for us. Like they left tons of food that it just isn't good. It's old and it's not of good quality. And you wouldn't want to donate it to somebody either. I want to grow food that's healthy and fresh and give that to people. I don't want to have canned food. You can just tell the light energy, the photons of it are pretty low. If you have canned or packaged processed food. And don't get me wrong, it can be delicious, but it's just not what you should have all the time. Fruits, the essence, and maybe all you should have. Probably all you should have. Makes sense. I'm not saying should. All I recommend, I should say. Sorry for that. Um, uh, but back to Jesus. Yeah, the cross is a gruesome symbol. Hate it. Can't stand it. That is such a wrong interpretation of Christianity. And I think that goes in with my main key being he never died. It's the sepulcher. Why is this not the depiction of Jesus? Jesus should be depicted by the sepulcher right here. This is it just makes so much sense. And he's a beautiful, and then obviously all the imagery, the Cesare Borgia. I hate that I had to think of the personage in that way. I think of him as, like I said before, the green light. A green light that like is swirled from the center of the earth, perhaps as many conspirators, people that have lived in the location have been able to travel like everywhere because they don't get these black Mason cards or whatever. You can go everywhere, travel the world. I'm not denying that some people put in work, but it's like a lot of it's evil work, and it's a weird world. But yeah, people are restricted in how they can move here, clearly, and money is the tool that allows that to happen. It's evil. People also have to be very responsible with money because we're subject to inflation at any time due to nonsense things. Like they'll have one of the most heinous, in-your-face, tongue sticking out, evil things they do is, for instance, gas stations. Gas stations. There's one, for instance, called Sinclair, which has a dinosaur as its logo. The sin is clear. It's not dinosaur. It's not fossil fuel that's providing the gas for us. No, it's from trees, and they just make it up. It's bullshit. And I can't stand it. It's evil. But I digress. That's why we have to be one in understanding these things, and finding alternative fuels, making alternative fuels, being thrifty, and expecting Armageddon, because the clown freak show could roll off the stage at any time now. It's so funny. Excuse me. I apologize. I'm very thankful. I'm thankful for where I'm at in life, and I'm thankful for Jesus Christ. And I think that there's many depictions of him in ways that people use him that are really harmful. And I think the blood of Christ, the whole Catholic thing, of course, it has to be mentioned. Drinking the wine, like the whole notion of it's strange. It feels vampiric and disgusting. And it's because I think it is. I think the Catholics, they relish the death of Jesus Christ. They relish that moment. And that's Satan, that he's relishing that moment. And what is it? It's the symbolism behind it being the cross being the Ankh, and the union of man and woman, and like Jesus being killed on that. And it's strange. But then he rose, and he never died, and he's with us all the time. And people, it's like the notion of him coming back in personage that has me pausing. That's what this video has been coming to. That's the essence of this video, is the personage of Jesus. Isn't he within all of us? Isn't he like spread throughout us, and we can enliven ourselves completely with his word and his way of being by learning more about him, by understanding him, and trying to be faithful and kind-hearted to our friends and to people that could be new friends. I think I could stand to learn a lot from Jesus. I need to read more Jesus. I haven't read Jesus enough. And I'm keen on sharing more soon. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Hope you enjoy my ramble, and this finds you in good faith. I'll talk to you guys soon.